Hi, it's Sharon with a Y, going live at 5:55 this time. So a few friends of mine have started going live at 5, and I thought it would be great to be able to listen to them. So I'm going to change my lives at 5 to live at 5:55. And we're going to continue for the next few days on books and some of the books that have helped as I've explored my alignment and my why. And I wanted to introduce you to a book that I've only just started reading, but I already can tell from the work that I've done with it so far that it's going to be one of those books that will make a big difference in how I interact and perceive myself. And it is this book. Can you see it there? The Grief Recovery Handbook. I'm not entirely sure whether you're seeing a mirror image of this or you're actually seeing the book, so I will check and post a link for you in the comments. Now, this grief recovery handbook was suggested to me by a friend, Geraldine Macé, whose contact details I will also post underneath this post. Effectively, the book takes you through the grief recovery process, not necessarily, although could be, grief associated with the death of a loved one, but also grief associated with any kind of loss. Now, that could be loss of a relationship, it could be disappointment or loss of expectations, it could be loss of a business. There are all kinds of things that trigger in us the feelings of loss, and they all need us, as not only as a nation, I think as a world, to acknowledge that loss is real, that it exists, and that time doesn't necessarily heal all wounds, and that a stiff upper lip isn't necessarily the way to deal with it. So, as I said, I'm only just going through this. I'm going through it with Geraldine because I think it's important when we are looking at something as important as the loss events that have happened throughout our lives, that we have someone who is not emotionally invested in any particular outcome. So the book talks about you being able to go through it on your own, although it does suggest that you at least go through it, if you can, with somebody whom you trust, or even go to one of the grief recovery group sessions, I think. Geraldine takes you through the process of grief recovery on a one-to-one basis, and so far I'm finding it fantastic. So I highly recommend it. I highly recommend you also get in touch with Geraldine and do it with Geraldine. But if that's not something for you, you can simply buy the book from participating bookstores and see what how it helps you. Certainly, already the first 9 chapters, I think, and my meeting with Geraldine have been tremendous. So I highly recommend it. And I'm hoping to get Geraldine on here to do an interview with her in the near future. So stay tuned. I will let you know when that happens. So that is I'm going to read it to you, The Grief Recovery Handbook by John W. James and Russell Friedman, founders of the Grief Recovery Institute. And they will teach you how to deal with all kinds of loss so that you can finish your uncompleted business and move on to the best version of your life. It's highly, highly recommended. Thanks for listening, and I will see you tomorrow live at 5:55. And tomorrow we have Martha Beck's book, Finding Your North Star. So tune in for that one tomorrow. Take care and keep shining.